Good morning, Roxanne Webster here.
Great day, Jake Ginger.
We are with my home team, Denver Keller Williams, and we're here today to discuss the Colorado Foreclosure Crisis Task Force, Housing Crisis Task Force. Right, and last week, if you remember, we're discussing how your short sale is being negotiated. And last week we discussed the in-house option, and today we're going to discuss the out-house option. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
What, the chuckle or the outhouse?
The outhouse.
All right.
Right.
Excuse me. So here's what we want to talk today about outhouse. There's actually several outhouse negotiation types. Today we're going to talk about a contract relationship. There are several people right now who have had experience. They could be old agents who are no longer licensed. They could be people who've worked as mortgage brokers, you name it, who have some experience with working with banks, who are now selling their services. I almost said peddling, but they're selling their services as an outhouse negotiation. We call it outhouse.
They don't call themselves outhouse
contract
negotiations. They're contract negotiators.
Typically it's a coordination service, and what that means is that they're paper pushers, for lack of a better term. Because they're not licensed, because they don't have direct supervision from the agent, they're not W-2'd, what ends up happening is they only have the ability to push the paper back and forth between the bank and you.
So if you fill out a financial worksheet and you forgot to put your mortgage payment on it, which is a very, very common mistake, because if you're in a distressed situation and you're not paying your mortgage, you may not put that on your list of obligations. A coordinator isn't even going to look at that. They're just going to pass it on to the bank. The bank may well turn down your file because of a mistake you made on the paperwork.
And that's not what we want.
No, and it isn't like, what we have is we've got somebody who is not in a direct responsibility to analyze and help advise you, because advice and counsel is the job of a licensed agent. A coordinator can't do that.
No.
So we think that the name of the game, and there are excellent contract coordination services. We're kind of glib and tongue-in-cheek, but there's some excellent options out there. But the problem is you need to make darn sure that the agent who is hiring that person is directly supervising them.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the biggest problems that we typically see with a contract coordination service is it takes a lot of volume for them to make some money. So typically what they're focused on more than anything else is a fast outcome, which is getting an approval letter, which may not always mean that it's the approval that you need to get that deficiency waived.
We think there are also a lot of folks who call agents who are using third-party negotiators. I just had this conversation yesterday with a client who had a complicated transaction. He had an FHA and a second and a third mortgage. That's a difficult file to do, but it's doable. It's doable all day long if you know how to do it and you're willing to throw some labor hours at it. It's less than $200,000, and there are some negotiators that just say, I'm not going to make any money off of that. It's going to take too long, and I don't want to do it. So also when you're dealing with third-party negotiators, they may tell you that your transaction is not finishable or completable just because they're making a cost analysis based on their personal needs. So make sure you're shopping this carefully.
Well, we'll continue this conversation next week.
Woohoo!
Have a great day.